There comes a time in life when you realize your peace is too expensive to be disturbed by every comment, every stare, every unexpected outcome. You realize that your joy should not depend on someone else's mood, that your worth isn't up for debate just because someone doesn't see it, that your response is the only part of the world truly under your control. And when you reach this level of awareness, you begin to walk differently, not louder, not prouder, but quieter, steadier, like someone who has made peace their home and locked the door. You were not born to be an emotional slave to people's praise or rejection. You were created to live from the inside out, not from the outside. So today, we begin a journey, not of isolation, but of liberation, not of shutting down feelings, but of mastering them. Let's talk about how to make sure no one ever controls your emotions again. The Stoic philosophers didn't teach people to suppress emotion. They taught people to own their reactions because they knew this. No one can control how you feel unless you give them that power. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, journaled this truth to himself. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. Think about that. It's not the event. It's your judgment. It's not the words. It's the meaning you attach to them. This is where real freedom begins. Every emotion you carry is a combination of perception and permission. Perception, how you interpret what happened. Permission, how much power you give it. Let's say someone calls you incompetent. The words don't hurt you by themselves. It's the moment your mind grabs those words and says, May they're right. That's when pain enters. You allowed it. So how do we stop doing that? By practicing mental boundaries, not walls that isolate but gates that guard. When you hear a negative comment, don't absorb it. Observe it. Instead of, why did they say that about me? Ask, what does this reveal about them? Instead of, they disrespected me, say, that was their action. My response is my responsibility. This one shift will save you years of emotional pain. Let's take this deeper. Seneca once said, a wise man is indifferent to everything which he cannot control. Indifferent doesn't mean numb. It means unshaken. It means, I care, but I am not controlled. This is the art of selective concern. You get to choose what deserves your energy. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond every text that triggers you. You don't have to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You get to conserve your energy for what matters, your peace, your purpose, your principles. Imagine how powerful you'd become if you stopped trying to win every battle and only showed up for the ones aligned with your values. Imagine how free you'd feel if you didn't need everyone to like you just to stay kind, calm, and focused. That's what the Stoics lived. That's what you're now learning to live. Let's talk about something personal. Have you ever been emotionally hijacked by silence? Someone doesn't respond to your message. A friend withdraws. A partner grows distant. And suddenly, your mind fills in the blanks with stories that may not be true. Maybe they're mad at me. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I'm not enough. That anxiety, that spiral, that's you letting uncertainty control your peace. But here's the truth. Silence is not always rejection. Distance is not always anger. And your worth is not measured by someone's response time. So when silence comes, let it come. Let it reveal. Let it test your stability. Don't beg for reassurance. Be your reassurance. The person who remains calm in uncertainty is the one who holds the emotional upper hand. Now, here's a powerful habit that can rewire your emotions. Journaling your triggers. Every time you get upset, irritated, or discouraged, ask yourself, what was the story behind that emotion? Not just the event, but the story. Example, you get angry when someone ignores your opinion. But the story might be, when I'm not heard, I feel invisible. When I feel invisible, I feel unimportant. That's the wound. That's where the real work begins. Once you recognize the story, you can rewrite it. Say to yourself, even when I'm not heard, I still matter. I am not defined by response. I am defined by reality. That is the emotional surgery the Stoics performed daily. They examined their own hearts, removed false beliefs, and replaced them with truth. Do this enough times, and the world loses its grip on you. We also need to talk about emotional detox, because you cannot master your emotions if your inputs are toxic. What are you watching? Who are you listening to? Do they trigger you? Do they inflame you? Do they manipulate you? You must protect your emotional diet. If you feed your mind chaos, you'll live in anxiety. If you feed your mind fear, you'll respond with panic. If you feed your mind negativity, you'll attract drama. So choose peace. Choose truth. Choose light. Unfollow what disturbs your growth. Disconnect from what drains your soul. And don't feel guilty about it. You are responsible for the emotional climate you create. Here's another Stoic reminder. You do not control what happens, but you control how long it controls you. A person who offends you once shouldn't own your emotions for a week. A comment made in passing shouldn't live in your head rent-free. An embarrassing moment shouldn't define your identity. Train your brain to say, "This happened. It's over. I choose to move forward." You're not in denial. You're in control. And every time you do this, you gain a little more of yourself back. Before we close, here's a daily ritual to seal your emotional power. Every night before bed, reflect on two things. What disturbed my peace today? How could I have responded better? No judgment, just learning. Because emotional mastery isn't a destination, it's a discipline. And when you wake up, begin your day with intention. Say, "Today, no one owns me. My emotions are not up for auction. My joy is not borrowed. I stand in my own power." Say it until it's not just words, until it's who you are. Final reminder. You are not weak for having emotions. You are powerful because you choose which ones you act on. You are not emotionless. You are emotionally intelligent. You are not detached. You are deeply rooted. You are not cold. You are calm. This is your new standard. To feel everything, but be moved only by truth. Let the world be loud. You stay quiet. Let people rage. You stay still. Let storms come. You remain the eye of it. Because the moment you stop being owned by emotions, you become unstoppable. You've started to reclaim your emotional freedom. But this journey isn't just about guarding your peace, it's about becoming unshakable in a world full of noise. So, what's next? Now, we go deeper. We shift from resisting external control to creating inner strength. Because if you don't build what's within, you'll always be a hostage to what's around you. Let's begin with the truth. You will be tested. People will try to provoke you. Life will not ask if you're ready before it challenges you. And when that happens, your first instinct might be to fight, defend, explain, or explode. But here's the secret. Self-control is the highest form of power. Not the loudest voice, not the quickest clapback, but the quiet, deliberate choice to respond, not react. When someone lies about you, don't trade your peace for proof. When someone disrespects you, don't let their behavior become your identity. Say to yourself, "I see their chaos, but I won't join it. I see their immaturity, but I choose dignity." Because dignity is power, and not everyone deserves access to your energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That's hard, isn't it? Because we want people to feel what they made us feel. We want them to understand our hurt. But every time you stoop to revenge, you let them drag you down into the very thing you've risen above. Instead, live well, grow deeper, let your peace be so strong, their chaos becomes irrelevant. This isn't passivity, it's strength. It's the strength to say, "Refuse to be manipulated by immaturity." Now, let's talk about how to build an internal code. Because emotional mastery isn't just about blocking people out. It's about living by something stronger than impulse. Here's a 3-part internal code to live by. Value truth over emotion. Ask, is this how I feel? Or is this what's real? Because your feelings are valid, but they're not always facts. Respond with intention, not reaction. Ask, what outcome do I want and what response gets me there? Emotion reacts, wisdom responds. Live for approval from within, not applause from the crowd. Ask, if no one claps, would I still choose this path? Because applause fades, but Inner respect remains. Think of this. A person without an internal compass is like a ship with no anchor, easily swayed, easily sunk. But a person rooted in truth can walk into a storm and still walk straight. Now, let's address something many never confront. Emotional addiction. Yes, that's real. Some people are addicted to conflict, to drama, to being offended, because it gives them identity, purpose. They say, "Us tell it like it is," but really, they're addicted to reacting. Here's a tough truth. Not every feeling deserves a stage. Not every offense deserves an audience. Sometimes your peace will offend people used to your chaos. Let it, because growth will always feel like betrayal to those who benefited from your unhealed self. So, how do we stay grounded? You need a daily mental reset. Just like you charge your phone every day, you must recharge your mind.